Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight and neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra, just follow the sound please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we are basically trying to share some basic informations related to your spiritual practice and how you can develop your meditation practice, and at the same time in this conventional life, how you can gain the success, because it is very necessary. This thinking about the success or dreaming about it, it never going to happen. But still, if you think about the negativity, if you dream about the negativity, for sure that you can experience. So then it is better yourself, when it comes to your development, growth, always focus towards something better. Because otherwise, that place can overtake by some kind of unprofitable or some kind of negative or some kind of unskillful situation. So then out of that, you may become worried, disappointed, unhappy, sad, fearful. So when it comes to the growth, it is very important yourself to understand that how this growth happens physically, mentally, psychologically, socially, and spiritually. Because it doesn't matter you think about it or not, somehow something will change in you. You cannot keep the same. You cannot be the same. It somehow it's going to change to something. So then how you, when it comes to that change, that the important thing is the energy. Because today, that we know in many ways people trying to create and develop the energy to uplift this growth. So then in this session, we are trying to understand how to keep your energy level right. Because when it comes to very conventional life, most of time people look into how to keep your energy level high. So, but energy can be high. So the energy is energy. But the thing is that when the energy go through something, it change. It cannot be the same. As example, the sun. So it generates the energy itself, but when it go towards the moon, and out of the moon, it reflect. So then it become the moonlight. It's not going to be the sunlight. So according to the distance of the sun and maybe far away, another star reflected. So then we say it's a star. We not say it is sunlight. So the same like, even though energy is the same, when it go through something, it transforms to a different thing. So understanding this is very important for you. The very reason is when the energy go through you, it start to mix and connect with your karmic level or the intention, and it start to come as something else. So then how you can always keep the growth with the right energy level? Because when it comes to the high energy, you can develop it in a profitable way or maybe in profitable way. And sometimes even though energy is high, and out of that, your thoughts going to become, your feelings going to become more and more stronger. But out of that thoughts and the feelings, that whatever the actions come, can be harm to yourself again. So then you have to remember, you have to have understanding. So when because the culmination of the energy is your action. There are 3 actions: bodily action, verbal action, and mental action. So once the energy go through the thoughts or go through the feelings, it generates the action, and once you perform the action, it creates something else, which is you can't change. So then, rather than struggling with the outcome of the action, that is what most of the time we try to do. So rather than struggling with the outside, the result of the action, let's go back to the very beginning of the energy. So then you have to look into yourself and see what kind of thought patterns that you carry in you. Because it is very important. Why? When the energy, when you receive the energy, it start to listen to you, the intention that you carry. So the intention behind your thoughts, if you don't see the intention governed by the cancers, mental formations, or the sanskara, or your habitual patterns, or maybe whatever that happened in your past. So if you don't put your attention to that, maybe you go through the same kind of lifestyle again and again and again. Repetition happen in you. So that's why the meditation gives an opportunity for yourself to clean that and have a better path of energy to bring towards you. And once you have that, and inside you, rather than manipulating by your mental formations, it can govern by the awareness. So then the very first thing, there are few things that you can develop the gain the high energy. So one that when it comes to that, one thing is being close to the Buddha or any enlightened master. And you can find the path, purify yourself, and learning through more skillful things to yourself very easily, because they know how to help. So, but the thing is, we all doesn't have that kind of physical power to be close to the Buddha. Even though we say Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, that we have the faith, conviction, but it is very difficult for us to physically be with the Buddha. But there is something that we have, the Dharma. And Dharma also representing the Buddha's qualities. So Dhammam pasati, somam pasati. Whoever understand and recognize and see the Dhamma, that person can see the Buddha. So then Dhamma doesn't mean that what we think. Dhamma is something related to the very fundamental nature and the quality of this nature. It's not someone else teaching, but whoever can see it, and that person, when explain it to the society, maybe the society will understand through that name, but they understand the very nature of the Dharma. So then you have to remember yourself. When we look into the Dharma, look that the scriptures, sutras, Buddha's teachings, 2,600 years old, but still it's surviving here. And as you know, nowadays there are many books come, bestseller books. And once it come, within 1 month, it disappear, another bestseller book come. Even maybe the same author, same writer, same person, bring another different idea, completely other side of the first version of the book. So why is that? Because mostly we are struggling with the words and the face value of our day-to-day life. It doesn't have a much depth. If it may be very rare teachings we can find nowadays through the books, bestseller books, and sometimes when whatever the most of the bestseller books, I buy it, and all the audio books, and I go through, and sometimes, and a lot of people talk about it very highly. But when I keep listening it little bit, then whatever that person went through, whatever his struggle and his opinion about life, and it doesn't have any depth that we people can understand. Of course, we have to appreciate when everybody go through difficulties. It's different person to person. We have to appreciate the people whoever go through that and become somebody and bring something. But maybe that lesson not going to work for someone else exactly the same way that person went through. So then it is better that finding a very clear message, because that is the beauty of the Buddha, the Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, Rumi, and most of other spiritual leaders. Even though they are no longer, the messenger is not there, but still the message there. So once you are closer to the message, so you are kind of like a closer to the messenger. So it is your responsibility then. Are you willing to get the message? So that's why the Dharma, once you being with the Dharma, it allows you to purify deeper inside your very karmic format that you carry. Because it's come out of the way you think, how the karma exists according to the intention. So how the intention is there within us because of the repetition of it. So, and now we have an identity out of that, and we carry it wherever we go as the self. So then yourself, if you are capable to look into you deeper and recognize this and shift it and clear it, clean it, and bring a different version to yourself, and slowly change the way you think about something with understanding. And what will happen? The energy that go through you, the energy that flow through you start to change. Think about it. And whatever that you keep thinking in this society, we all think, oh, I am the best. I can do this. I know how to do this. But sometimes when situations come, it's not going to happen like that. So then yourself, you have to be humble. Even though something comes to you, not to cement with that idea, but to take opportunity and look forward to transform that idea to something. So that's very important. There's a Russian author, it's called Anton Chekhov. So this Anton Chekhov, in his father, every day, early in the morning, what his father did, he beat to Anton Chekhov. Every day. And in the evening, father used to drink a lot and beat him. Not only him, his all the brothers also. And he gave a hard time to his his wife. That's mean Anton Chekhov's father, the mother. So then what happened? Somehow all the brothers escaped to Moscow. And then by the time they had a little kind of like a shop that in the evening everybody come to that place and drink. So then Anton Chekhov went through kind of like a hell. So somehow everybody left the village, and he and his mother used to be there. And so by the time he had the ability to work in a bookshop, so then he used to read. And then he understood. So rather than that struggling, and rather than focusing towards his father and the difficulties that he went through, And he thought, I deserve to be beaten from my father. And because I didn't develop anything in me. I just be with them, and when I am around them in that level, of course, they beat me. So by the time Anton Chekhov and took that opportunity and understood he need to become somebody else, otherwise he going to go through that situation. So then he became more. He start to put effort, energy, strength, work hard, learn hard, and he transformed himself to a more better person. So rather than hold it to that situation, he developed the growth, because his growth, his energy level used to be more high to get the revenge from the father. He was so angry, and because of that anger, his energy level so high to generate more anger towards the father. So this is the energy level. Why? Because that what he went through, what he reflect, what he go through. So he developed the energy with the anger. But what he did, he transformed it to right energy. So so in human history, normally this Anton Chekhov, the story take how person can use the very difficult situation, especially in young age, to transform to something. That's mean whatever the difficulties come to you, you use that same difficulty rather than resisting it, rather than go against it. You step on it. You keep it as a building block, or you keep that as a foundation to build your life on the top of your difficulty. So that's a skill. You have to develop it. Otherwise, it's not easy in this life. Even it's a spiritual life, the same, but in this conventional life also, it's not easy. Even when you become more better, there are a lot of difficulties going to come. And when we look our human history, see that most of the good people and most of very successful people killed by somebody else, killed by human. They didn't went through kind of like a natural death. A lot of people from the ancient time. Then Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, and there was a warrior in the Japanese samurai history, Miyamoto Musashi, that he was the highest ranking, the samurai, the warrior. But some says it poisoned by somebody. And other person, that Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King. So if you look the human history, Prophet Muhammad, Jesus, killed by, and Socrates, killed by people. Even not the kind of like animal attack. So then we have to remember, when you become good, It's not easy in this conventional life. It's always going to become very dangerous. But still, so how it become dangerous? Because when you keep the energy level high, when you grow, you can grow in profitable way. It's okay. You can survive in many ways. But if you start to grow with the right energy level, it always going to become difficult, but it still is worth. So that's why you have to remember that whatever the situations, the environment, and use it to transform rather than holding or develop, or rather than allowing that energy to transform with the greed, hatred, or the delusion in you to build something more better. Another one is the being with the community of Sangha. That's very important. Somebody, you have to be with some people to develop and enrich your energy level. So whoever the people around you today will decide of 10 years ahead your life. And so sometimes the physically, personally, socially, spiritually, we need the help in different ways. We all need help. Of course, we have certain capacities to do things, but when it comes to around us, our environment, the people around us, is very important. If you look very carefully that if you are happy or unhappy most of time today, it's because of the people around you. So then getting to the right people is very difficult. And mostly we go with the like mindset. So like mindset means that whatever I like, if other person like, and we think it's going to work for us. But when it comes to our spiritual practice, rather than go with the like mindset, start to change your lifestyle to go with the right mindset. Because it will help in the long term. It will help you to transform to a more better person. And it is your responsibility, then look around you. And little by little, get the help. And that help, not to hold it to something, to transform. And at the same time, why most of the time we can't grow? Because of the people around us, wrong partners. You used to be happy, you used to be more active, you used to be more think ahead, and you had the more clarity. And maybe even though you have the right vision to yourself, if you get into wrong people, you can't do it. That's the thing. Look at the Prince Siddhartha's lifestyle, the life that even with the 5 ascetics and all the skills they had to practice, all the yogic and all the ascetic practice, the 5 of them were the best during that time. But Buddha knew it doesn't work for him in that environment. Then he left and he went himself. Why? Because that the people around us, it's very important. And knowingly or unknowingly, maybe you start to follow somebody else, and maybe somebody else will start to follow you. So then if somebody else follow you, you are responsible to help that person to develop the growth towards the right, not towards to be high. Just going be high in unprofitable way is not good. So that's why the community of Sangha and practicing meditation, or whatever the spiritual practice, or whatever even in your personal life, and whatever the conversations that you go through every day, is very matter. Why? Because it shapes your life. Your society is the art. It's a kind of like a design, your deeper blueprint of your life. So it is your responsibility. Don't get into wrong partners. It's nothing wrong. You be nice to each other. You be nice to people. But if you don't, if you recognize there is no growth towards right, stay away from it. It's worth for you. It's worth for them also. Stay away from them. Because if they have the unprofitable ideas, and if the community becomes stronger, then that means it's kind of like you validate their unprofitable ideas. So then maybe you make the community happy for the moment, but in long term, you're going to be alone yourself. You have to deal yourself. And by the time what happened, you develop certain kind of attitude in you, which you can't get out. So that's why look into yourself and see what kind of lifestyle, what kind of attitude you develop in you. That is why the Sangham Saranam Gacchami, the community of Sangha, whoever follow keep the right energy level, not the high energy. Of course it need to go higher, but it need to be right. And in that way, in day-to-day life, that whatever the actions that you build, it's always going to become profitable action for you and for others. And then as a result of that, the feedback you gain, thoughts and feelings also going to become more profitable for you. And then when you have the right thoughts and right feelings, so it will help you to clean the physical structure in you. So which we call the karma that we hold it to us. So when you clean it yourself, when you have the very clear thoughts and the very clear feelings, what happens? So whatever the energy that go through you has ability to transform to more higher level of energy, that which help for you to level your awareness to reach to the frequency which the Buddha and all the other enlightened masters had. So that's why there's out of the discipline, out of the practice, and out of understanding, listening to Dharma, this is what you have to do. This is one way that you can access to that. And so why you practice every day, but at the same time, you have to remember how you can keep this energy level right. And if it is go wrong right away, you should bring it back. So how you can bring it back? Be with the right people. Listen to the right things. Follow the right things. Of course, it is not easy for us. And in the very basic level, how to understand this is right or this is wrong, or kind of like that. So by the time if this develop the fear, anxiety, depression, hatred, jealousy, anger, then you have to recognize that thoughts or that feelings not right. So that should be your measurement. And so that's why practicing meditation give you that understanding. Of course, just listening to this, tomorrow you're not going to get this. No, you're going to have it. But when you have it, as soon as possible, try to get back to the center or get back to the right level. Of course, we will keep going wrong, going to other side again and again, again and again. That's normal. But still, practicing will help you to minimize the ability of going wrong way. And practicing will maximize the strength to adjust, merge with the right energy level. So one of the key point is the awareness. And keep in the present moment, and again and again, again and again, settling down with it will help you to deeply understand this. So remember then, develop your growth with the right energy level. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck, head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. Now scan head to toes yourself and say Sopatveva. Oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathing, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. So when it happens, without interfering to its natural process, without adding any thoughts to it, just recognize it as it is. Do nothing extra. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Imaya dhamma nudhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi. Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami. Idam me punya kammang savakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.